Hello everyone, nubkeks here. Welcome back to Nub Raids, and in today's video I wanted to have a little bit of fun. We obviously have an absolutely crazy 10 times event happening right now at the moment, another one kicking off on Sunday as well. And I've been also, as you can see, saving my shards like an absolute madman for any potential guaranteed legendary events coming up. In fact, we've got so many sacreds, I'm going to actually start pulling sacreds just for fun again, which is crazy. Been saving for so long, it feels weird to actually consider pulling sacred shards just, you know, during a random 2x event or something, just for... But anyway, what I want to talk about today is my top 10 champions that I would love to get on my account. And yeah, really, I kept the criteria literally just that. Top 10 champions that right now, today, that I would like to get. That's it. That's it. So they could be really strong. They could just be really fun or interesting. It doesn't matter. They're mostly strong. No surprise. But without any further ado, let's dive in and let's talk about them. So the first one is an extremely strong champion. However, it's also a champion that is a champion of convenience. And my pick for this is Leorius the Proud. As you guys know, I do consider him to be overall the best arena nuker. AoE nuker, at least that is. Void Affinity, he's got 2 AoE attacks, one of them's a double hitter. He hits really hard, and the big thing about him that I like, and the reason that I want him, is that convenience factor. Immune to all this CC when his A2 is not being used, when it's ready to use. And then he's got an unkillable passive as well. More damage the more his HP goes down. And the Void Affinity, this is the guy that I would love to just slap him in my arena team and just let them go. And look, if we're outsped, no worries. He won't get CC'd, he'll hit harder. Great, we've got a chance to win. No matter what affinity the enemy team has. You know, I find it annoying having to switch around affinities for different nukers. He's Void Affinity. Just put him in, it's all good. No matter what the enemy team throws at us, we have the tools to deal with it, basically. Warlord and Romantu, those type champions are really the only way to deal with him. So yeah, it's just I don't want to be arsed clicking through different teams for arena. Let me just throw in the one AoE nuker that can basically do everything, and that's Leorius. So he for me is number 10, and of course he's also extremely good. Now in number 9, this is a champion that I actually didn't really like before, but I have an exponentially growing interest in, and that is Cardiel. A lot of people think Cardiel's the coolest looking champion in the game. I don't like the way he looks at all. For me, it looks like he's at a photo shoot. He just shot himself, and he's trying to stand to cover it up. Basically, he's like, oh, the cameras are on. They're taking the picture. Please, nobody see. He's trying to block the view with his shield. I don't know. He looks ridiculous, I think. But this guy's a monster. He's a monster. Puts out a ton of healing with his A1. This whole cleanse with Revive on Death, so useful for arena on his A2. Then he's got this ally attack. Big ally attack on his A3. And yeah, that's kind of what I like about him. He's got a speed in all battles aura as well. Not only is he fantastic for arena, both offense and defense, he's also super good for Hydra as well. He's a champion that's coming into that Hydra meta more and more. So I would love to have him in my team as basically the premier ally attacker who also does a ton keeping your team alive for Hydra. So yeah, Cardiel, I've always thought he looks a bit dumb, but I want him. The more I'm thinking about it, the more I want to pull him. Next up then, it's another Void legendary, Nekhret the Great. Nekhret, really, again, this is one of those arena convenience things. Arguably the best arena defense champion. I rate him as number 1 myself. Yeah, just a monster for arena defense, protecting your nuker, keeping them safe. So again, it's a matter of convenience. It's just having really much easier arena defense matches. Even using him on arena offense to just put whatever nuker is in. If I don't have the Leorius, he kind of makes any nuker almost invulnerable. Almost. Super useful. Absolute badass champ. Not sure if I'd use him anywhere else, but I'd certainly like to try. But just, yeah, a monster for arena. So he that's why he's kind of lower on the list. Super, super good, but yeah. Next up, we've got 2 champions back to back, and I would really like either one, though I do have a preference. So the one I'd like a little bit less, and they're very similar champions. You'll know exactly what I'm talking about here. Martyr. Martyr is next on the list. Counterattack, basically, right? AoE counterattack buff. On that 3-turn cooldown, she brings the AoE decrease attack with a provoke decreased defense. So in particular, I really want to do counterattack teams for Hydra. I've done them with Skull Crusher, but there's a real limit because Skull Crusher puts out ally protection, which means that Skull Crusher gon' die. Skull Crusher gon' die, which means you have to bring in a reviver. All the rest, it's a bit awkward to actually make it kind of click, to make everything come together. I think Martyr is my less wanted of the two, but still very, very much wanted. I think she's phenomenal. She brings so much for Hydra, so many cool debuffs, good damage as well. I'd love that. And then I actually would like Valkyrie more. I do think that Valkyrie is the better option for Hydra overall because she brings this absolutely huge shield on the 3-turn cooldown, 3-turn shield. So massive shield to protect your team. I think that it's just more valuable for a team, generally speaking, even than Martyr's increased defense, decrease attack. I think this shield will just do more to keep you alive. So that's why I kind of like the idea of her. Yeah, just an awesome champ. And I'd like to do more counterattack teams elsewhere in the game as well. But particularly for Hydra, now that we've got like a whole bunch of strategies for mischief tanks, it'd be really cool to bring in some of these counterattack champions. And like I said, I've got Skull Crusher. I've really enjoyed making some teams with him, but there is sort of a hard limit on how far he can go. Next up then, we're into the top 5, guys. Top 5. Yumeko, number 5. Yumeko, obviously visually really badass champion, really distinctive, so cool. And she's infamous really for this Dance of Time, decreasing ally skills and increasing the cooldown of enemy skills. Monster in the arena. She's got a great passive starting off in the arena. And I think just generally useful sort of everywhere in the game. And then she's got a really cool A2. It's a wall of text, but basically she put a hex on an enemy and then she'll start transferring debuffs from your champions to the enemy that she has hexed. She can also potentially steal turn meter. And one of the things I really like about her, as you can see, Karato Fox Hunter mentioned here. I am a big fan of Karato. I think he's super cool. I have him, but I've never had a reason to actually fully build him out or to use him because I already have a couple of good Spirit Affinity nukers. So there's never a reason to actually use this guy, but I think him in combination with Yumeko is actually very powerful. So that's the nice thing about Yumeko. Not only is she an extremely strong and versatile champion in general, but she would also open up the use of Karato and having a really cool couples pair going in the arena. So that's kind of why I'd like to get her. Next up then, actually sticking in Shadowkin, Lady Kimi. Please give me a Lady Kimi. This would tempt me to pull for sure in this 10 times event on right now. And she was a guaranteed legendary before from Ancients, so I think we expect her to not reappear for a long time as a guaranteed champion. So it's gonna be tough for me to get Lady Kimi, and she's so goddamn cool. Lady Kimi, she is just amazing speed booster. It's something I lack on my account. I've very few good increased speed champions. Very few. Lady Kimi is one of the S tier ones, right? Increased speed, increased accuracy, turn meter fill. Just amazing, right? That increased speed for Hydra. She's got the decreased speed, decreased accuracy for Hydra in arena. Absolutely incredible. Especially put her in with bomb champions now, like Gaius the Gleeful. Put her in, give Gaius increased accuracy, and boom, win the fight. Like, oh, it's so good. She's so insanely good. She's got ridiculous base speed. She's got it all. Lady Kimi, yeah, it's one of the reasons I'm so keen on these guaranteed events is that you can have those game-changing legendaries come in and guaranteed. And I still regret not getting Lady Kimi. You know, they were smart. They were smart putting her as like, I think Helior might have been the first one, and she was the first one from Ancients. Helior was Sacreds, something like that. But they were smart because, yeah, regrets were had. And then finally for the top 3, this one is, again, very much probably a matter of the moment, but Trunda. I'm putting Trunda up in number 3. And why is Trunda so high up this list? Well, a good chunk of it is definitely the fact that we have the whole, Trunda skin stuff going on at the moment. So she's like in the spotlight, yeah? She's in the spotlight. But while she is in that spotlight and we're all thinking about her, I'm like, man, I really do wish I had a Trunda. She's a real monster. She's a beast. Just such an easy way to nuke through the arena, right? So easy to get massive damage out of her A3, out of her A2. She's got really long cooldowns, but it's okay. Like for arena, she's got 2 big AoE attacks, so she can absolutely smack. And then when you go into the Hydra, especially for the lower difficulties of Hydra, she is like the ultimate champion for doing ridiculous damage. She has the highest potential with her A2 for doing damage to Hydra out of everyone. It just scales insanely. It's really absurd. So yeah, for me, Trunda, just big nukes, massive AoE damage, both in Arena but also in Hydra. Yeah, she'd be a really fun champion to have. And seeing as, yeah, it's just because she's been mentioned so much at the moment. Then we come to my number 2 and my number 1. In number 2, Duchess Lilitu. Duchess Lilitu is the number 2 champion for me. Obviously one of the best champions in the entire game across all sorts of content, whatever it happens to be. Doom Tower, dungeons, put her into wave clearing stuff with a Seer team, insane. Hydra, Arena, everywhere, literally everywhere in the game. This champion is S+ tier, insanely good. Revive, perfect veil, increased attack block, debuffs, decreasing AoE, shields A1, speed, ridiculous base stats as well. Yeah, what a champion. I'd love to get her. Again, it would make Arena easier. I could slap her into Hydra, especially for when they add new difficulties of Hydra or new Hydra heads. There's no question that having Duchess on the team would help so much. So yeah, it's one of those funny things in a way where I'm so used now to not having Duchess and yeah, sort of making do without her, that I almost in a way moved away from putting her this high in the list, but I had to be realistic with myself and say, okay, it's like this internalized trauma in a sense of like, oh, no, I don't need a Duchess, I don't want it. But if I had to be honest, if I'm realistic and imagined any champion popping out of like a Sacred Shard or a Void Shard, whatever, if Duchess came out of that shard, like I'd be freaking out. Let's be real. She would be number 2, just game changer. So Duchess is number 2. And number 1, very similar to Duchess, is actually Siphi. Siphi the Lost Bride. She is my number 1 most wanted champion at the moment. Just such a versatile champion. So powerful for Arena offense, defense, for Hydra, everywhere in the game, just pumping out heals, removing freezes. And people kind of forget about this. The chance to remove freeze and fear at the start of every ally's turn is so nice. She's got a bit of a heal or that sleep on her A1. And then again, I talked about speed boosters when we were talking about Lady Kimi. Siphi's the other like S+ tier speed booster. Block debuffs on everyone. Turn meter fill a little bit. Increased defense and that increased speed. Single target revive. Again, she'd be amazing for so many of my Arena teams. And she'd also open up a lot of options for Hydra as well. Like a lot of options. You can do some really cool things with her. Because her passive is removing fear semi-consistently. Like you can totally do some, I think, cool stuff even running without Inquisitor Shamail in there. She's a really good combo at things like Skull Lord Vargal, all the rest. Opens up a lot of cool teams for Hydra. And then, of course, if I ever pulled a Rotos, I don't have Rotos either, but if I ever did get a Rotos, you really want that Siphi to enable him. So, yeah, also she's a Void Legendary, so she's extremely hard to get. That pushes her a little bit above Duchess for me as well. So there you go, guys. Those are my top 10 most wanted champions right now. Obviously, all this stuff changes as content in the game changes, as I pull different champions. Like there were a lot, like I just saw Hanorach pop up in one of those packs there. I love a Hanorach as well. Kantra I've mentioned before as being one of my most wanted too. It's actually quite tough to pick just 10 that you want because there's so many awesome champions in this game. One of the best things about it. But yeah, like I said, today, they're my top 10 today. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed. Good luck with your shard pulls this weekend. I'm sure lots of people are going to be telling me, oh, cool, I got that champion that you really want. Yeah, damn you, viewer. I'll see y'all next time, guys. Bye-bye.